decree was not further enacted in 1977 to institutionalize a subsidy in Nigeria. That was when former President Goodluck Jonathan, in 2012, he announced that the removal of fuel subsidy. And although there were massive protests at that time, and even again, well, there even some persons in current administration right now were against the particular removal of fuel subsidy. And in a bid to remove the that was from the price of 65 naira to 141 naira. That was as at 2012. And then a similar protest was held in 2000 also with former President Olusegun Obasanjo when he attempted to also remove petroleum subsidy from 2022 also. We have that of 2022 also. That was for the past president, that's Muhammadu Buhari, during his time in 2022. A development also happened, and it caused several reactions in across the country. But again, how well have we been doing in the country right now? Because moving from the price of 87 naira per litre as of 2015 to 165 in 2021, that has showed a massive increase. That's about 19.54% increase. Now, how are we to cope? Again, now the fuel subsidy has been removed as announced by a president, and there's still that on ground, as said by Mele Kyari, that's the group chief executive officer of the NNPCL, when he said that the country is owing them 2.8 trillion naira spent on petrol subsidy. Now, this has posed hardship on a common man, and has made several organizations, unions, they've opted for industrial action. That was the same thing that has happened in the past. It's about to recur again, a recurrence of such. Now, the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria has declared industrial action. The Non-Academic Staff Union of Education and Associated Institution, NASO, also has sent out a letter that they will embark on industrial action. Same for Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria. And not just that, we have so many of them, same as National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, and the NLC and TUC were about to embark on one, but then they had to put a hold on it as the directive given by the court. And as this all unfolds, well, we are grateful for the magnanimous steps taken by some governors. That's talking about our Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, who has given out a directive that 3 days should be given for work days. That's alternating it now. Well, then this is actually an incredible move on the part of the governor. And not just that, someone followed suit after. That's Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State. He has reduced the number also to 3 days. And I read somewhere that Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, also has set up a committee to talk about the minimum wage. That's the readjustment of the minimum wage. You're welcome on Vocal Point this morning. I am Monica Babatunde, and just as we do it every Wednesday, we keep you up to date with the latest happening around the world. And I'm joined this morning by Comrade Tajuddin Habib, better known as Tallest. He's in the house with me this morning. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, dear listeners at home.
Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much for honoring our invite.
Thank you so much.
All right, in just a moment, we're going to continue with our conversation. We'll be having detailed conversation this morning about fuel subsidy. How is it affecting you? How is it affecting me and affecting us as citizens in Nigeria? And again, what is the way forward? We need to know all these, and these are what we're going to be talking about this morning. And also to be a part, to hear your opinion, you can send a message on our WhatsApp number on 091-6737-5588, 091-6737-5588. You can also call our number, that's our studio line. In due time, very soon, we'll open the studio line, but not yet. But the number is 0810-8501-371. You can also watch us live on our Facebook page to hear your opinion. You can drop a comment for us right there. You're still on to Vocal Point on Royal FM 95.1 in Lorient, and I still have Comrade Tajuddin in the house with me. Well, he said I should have tallest to it, but then actually it's tall, but then at the same time I was like, oh, thank God you do not have to bend when you that would have made it tallest. You're welcome on the show.
Thank you.
All right, so actually fuel subsidy is everything. That's the topic everyone is talking about. Even if you go to the street or market, everywhere it's fuel subsidy. But then I got to realize not everyone is so enlightened about what fuel subsidy is. We're just saying, oh, it's fuel subsidy. But so can you give us just in layman's terms, so it can be understood by our listeners? Can you help us tell them what fuel subsidy removal is all about?
Once again, good morning, dear listeners at home. Subsidy, it's an English term to refer to a kind of a reduction in the price, but not just reduction. It's about somebody paying for something that you're supposed to pay for. Say, for instance, at home you want to buy a biscuit for a child, for a child at home,
Okay.
and then the child is having 10 naira, but the cost of the biscuit is 30 naira. So you're saying the child should bring his or her own 10 naira, and you are adding 20 naira to complement so that you can pay for that biscuit. So that is subsidy. You are subsidizing the child.
Okay.
You are paying part of what he or she is supposed to pay to get a particular commodity. And it just like you have said, it was introduced to the Nigerian market in 1970s, precisely in 1973-1974. There is a global war about oil at that particular period of time, and the price is jacked up. Because the country has a lot of reserve, they have a lot of redundancy in their finances. So they decided that to bring about succor to the people of the country, they decided to introduce subsidy. Say if you are going to be buying oil at 10 naira, okay, the government will be paying 5 naira while you pay 5 naira, so that you can be able to go about your businesses without necessarily increasing the prices and then bring about hardship to the people. And that was exactly the reason why it was introduced as at that particular period of time. It's just a way of government helping the masses to reduce their cost.
All right, thank you so much. That is helping the masses, just as you had said, helping myself, yourself, and we as citizens. But again, I read somewhere, and someone said, okay, if we're going to use the elasticity law, UC might actually use Nigerians instead of, as at that time when it was using something else, knowing that our elasticity to adapting to situations in Nigeria is becoming unbecoming. But again, now knowing the effect of the removal, how it's being felt strongly, do you think Nigerians can actually survive at this point in time? Because if we go on the street of Nigeria, people are actually going through.
You see, it's about what I used to say about this when people ask me, can we survive? It's about, should we take the sacrifice now and try and find a way around how we can survive it, or we extend the doomsday, because it's going to be a doomsday in the end. These decisions we are taking now, we had to have taken very, very, very long time ago.
Okay.
But we didn't. Just like you said, we continue looking at a way by which we can manipulate the process, and then not in a bid not to cause uproar as we are having now. But unfortunately, if we have taken the decisions then, probably we would have been able to find a way around it now. We would have survived whatever hardship that would have come with it at that particular period of time. So it's not something that we shouldn't do. It is something that if we didn't do now, we will do later. Probably, if we are going to be doing later, we would still have it more worse than we are having now. Because if we have done it long ago, maybe we will not have it this worse. So unfortunately, we have been extending our situation, trying to see a way by which we can bend it, and maybe we can find a magical wine that can take it away. Well, unfortunately, it's an economic thing. It's a physical thing. You do not have any magic wand to change it. You just have to take the right decision in a bid to be able to arrive at the right destination. Otherwise, we'll continue to have this back and forth around how the government is funding the budget, how they are borrowing, how much infrastructural development are they providing. Why is us going on strike almost every time.
Okay.
So and that's a decision that you have to, just like you have to find a balance between the scale of preference.
Okay.
What should we do? What is our best move? So, and at this particular period of time, I think the best move is to let the subsidy go.
Okay, but again, you made mention of something, but that would have be after this very short break going on. You made mention of the fact that we should have taken a long time. This is a step we should have taken a long time ago. But again, I would like to know why you say so, but that will be after this very short break. Do not change that dial. Do you know you can still send messages to us on our WhatsApp number on 091 6737 5588 091 6737 5588.
Can you imagine a whopping 40% discount every Wednesday?
Now that's wow!
You don't have to imagine no more. KFC is here with WCW Reloaded discount offer.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go get it already!
Wednesdays are about to get even more exciting as the KFC's Wow Chicken Wednesday is now reloaded. Enjoy KFC's 7-piece chicken bucket every Wednesday at over 40% discount. It's the same finger-licking good meal as you have always had it. Available when you walk into any KFC stores nationwide or order online on any of our delivery partners.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
Guy, see how many power bank only you dey carry. You dey sell am.
Oh boy, I get many important meetings today. I no fit miss them.
My brother, you dey give yourself wahala. How now? You suppose dey use the Itel P40 to dey power yourself. Enjoy real power with all new Itel P40. With just one charge, enjoy 3 days of fun with a 6000 mAh mega battery with fast charge and 7 GB RAM. Also get 5 GB data from Airtel for just 1,000 naira when you buy Itel P40 and activate with an Airtel 4G SIM card. SMS GET to 141 now. Itel P40, one charge for 3 days.
This is a vacancy announcement. The Royal Media Group, owners of Royal FM, Ilori, Kaduna, and Asaba, is seeking to employ talented on-air personalities, news editors, sales and marketing executives, broadcast engineers, and program presenters. Candidates must possess good command of the English language and Yoruba language. Ability to speak more than 2 Nigerian languages could be an added advantage. Please note that for the position of on-air personality and program presenter, applicants are required to send a 1-minute voice demo alongside their CVs. All CVs should be forwarded to recruitment@royalfm.net. Again, all CVs should be forwarded to recruitment@royalfm.net. Note that only successful applicants will be called for interview. Deadline for the application is 15th of June. Announcer, Management.
You're still on to Vocal Point on Royal FM 95.1, and my name is Monica Babatunde. I still have Comrade Tajuddin in the house with me. And before we went on the break, he made mention of the fact that the steps should have been done a long time ago. Now, Comrade, may I know why you said this, why this should actually have happened a long time ago?
Economic reasons. For economic reasons, the subsidy is supposed to have gone a long time ago.
Okay.
Before the departure of President Olusegun Obasanjo in 2007, if we could all recall, he actually jacked up the price of PMS per litre in Nigeria. I think from 65 naira to 75 naira at that particular period of time, because it is becoming economically impossible for the government to sustain it. And the reason being that at that particular period of time, there is a global meltdown, economic meltdown in 2008. And the signs are there before his departure. So they were trying to ensure that it doesn't have much economical impact on the country. So he jacked it up to reduce the burden of subsidy on Nigeria. That was the beginning of the problem. So when President Yar'Adua came in, he took back the 10 naira and reversed the price back to 65 naira using our foreign reserve to augment whatever downward decline that will be happening to our economy. It works because we have reserve. And ever since then, there has been continuous increments in the prices they pay on subsidy. In 2011, when Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the then Minister of Economy, came back to the country as Minister of Economy, in 2012, she said, and I quote, that subsidy bill was brought to our table for payment. People importing fuel into the country actually brought their own bill, that this is how much you are paying us for subsidy.
Right.
She said they brought about $8 billion. And then she looks at it compared to what they pay in subsidy when she was the same Minister of Economy between 2003 and 2007 during the Obasanjo regime. She saw a sporadic increment in that wise, and then she decided to audit that bill. Therein, she discovered that there is a fraud of about $2 billion, and then she decided to probe it, and then told the marketers that she's not going to pay that money. Of course, there are consequences attached
I
to
saw
it
the
for
video
her.
about the consequences.
Okay,
that
so
happened.
at that point, it became so expedient that we look at the viability of that thing, because apart from being an economic burden on the country, then you have seen in clear court that fraud has crept it in. And at that point, you're supposed to look at a way by which, as a country, it will not become what it has become today. As of today, for Nigeria, you're budgeting about 7 trillion naira for subsidy. If 2023 plan for subsidy goes the way they said it, because they are stopping in June. But if that continues from January to December of 2023, you're going to be paying close to 7 trillion naira for subsidy. I do not know exactly how the country, because there is this sense within the citizen, and in fact, the people in government, they didn't help us not to have that sensibility. The mindset that Nigeria is very, very rich, and that's a lie if you look at the economic indices and whatever figure you are going to be using. So Nigeria is poor. And for a poor country like Nigeria to be subsidizing a product that is not even serving the purpose for which that subsidy was meant for, then is a problem. You look at our budget, you have about 20-something trillion budget. You're having a deficit of about 10 trillion, and you are subsidizing. Part of your budget is a subsidy that you cannot account for.
But again, comrade, if we're going to talk about that same step now towards it, at least there should have been some cushioning effect or something to cushion this particular thing before the president will come out outrightly to say, okay, this is going to happen.
Of course, yes. You see, sometimes in Nigeria, we tend to do some certain things that you ask the question, why did they do this? But if you sit down with them and ask questions about why did you have to do it, they will have their own excuses as well. But I don't want to go there. I don't want to defend the government, because they have a lot of faults in relation to this. But the truth is that for the country as at this particular period of time, I think the best decision we can take, and the citizens must understand, of course, the government have their own fault by not allowing the people to actually be able to trust them. The transparency in the way by which they manage the affairs of the country has actually damaged that trust factor, and people are not actually ready to listen to them. But if you look at the economic viability of subsidy, in relation to Nigerian situation as at this particular period of time, you will agree with me that that thing should have left the shore of Nigeria long ago, so that we'll be able to plan ahead for the future. There are other things that we can subsidize, and then that would have much more effect and impact on the ordinary masses than this subsidy. Because around this subsidy, you have a whole lot of fraud.
Okay, but again, talking about that same easing of debt now, when it comes to that one, is there no way around it when it comes to, okay, eventually probably we'll sort our debt to the NNPCL, and knowing that we have some refineries coming up, is there no way to say, okay, probably there will be no removal of the subsidy eventually, knowing, okay, probably we have standard refineries?
Even if you have refineries, you see, those are one of the responsibilities, and those are one of the faults of the government. even if you have workable refinery, you might still not have significant reduction in the current price of PMS as at today, as at this morning.
Okay.
This being that PMS, crude oil, is not a product that is determined, the pricing is determined by the country. It is a global commodity. Okay? The Organization of Petroleum Exporters, OPEC, is there to regulate the pricing in the world. And indeed, not every country that is producing oil is actually a member of OPEC, but they use OPEC standards to set their own pricing as well.
Okay.
So I am saying that the price of crude, the price of PMS is not a price determined by Nigeria. It is a global commodity that the pricing is determined by the World Organization in relation to that. So what you can have as reduction in cost when you have refinery is, say, transportation cost in relation some of this ferrying from the country from which you are refining back to the country. Say for instance, Nigeria sometimes refine from Rotterdam in Amsterdam, and per liter of that PMS, transportation to Nigeria, I think is around 27, 28 naira per liter. So you see some of those costs will be out of this the way in relation to pricing. But the truth is that even at that, the reduction might not. For instance, as at this money, you are selling for 515 naira because you are importing. If you have Dangote refinery and another refinery working, you might be buying at 450 naira, taking away like 50, 60 naira from the price.
That's
but that's going to be the situation actually in real time, except otherwise there is another fraud around it. But as at this morning, if the situation remains constant, if you have the situation you are having now in the next 1 year, then you definitely will be having that reduction, because the price of ferrying into the country will not be there again.
But again, sorry to cut you short in that aspect, but coming to the fact that we know, okay, there's degeneration of it now, and that's knowing that sellers are going to be the one to be the determinant of it, and we have no body that does when it comes to the regulatory body now. I don't think we have a regulatory body when it comes to I think it should be the NNPCL. But
no, there is petroleum downstream. What do you call it?
But then, how effective are they? Because going by the degeneration that is happening now, who will be in charge of having to control? Because there will be different price ranges when it comes to sellers. Because this person might want to sell at this price, and just as we know, some petroleum filling stations sell lower than some. That's just to make sure the citizens are satisfied. But again, would this be effective when eventually this happens, knowing that there is no regulatory body?
First of all, there is this regulatory body, the petroleum.
Well, effective regulatory body.
Effective. So if you're talking about effectiveness, I think that will be determined by the market.
Okay.
The market force will determine exactly how the regulation will come. Okay. I give you an example. As at this money, I think NNPC ourselves is selling at 550 naira. And you have a situation whereby you have some movers selling far less than that, maybe around 510, 505 naira.
Okay.
That is the essence of the regulation. And that is exactly what Petroleum Industrial Act or Petroleum Industrial Bill, whatever you want to call it, came to do, to give the market the forces. Let's use the telecommunication industry as an example. When Nigeria breaks down the monopoly of Nitel in the telecommunication sector, they allow other people to come into that sector. You have, as at then, you have Econet, you have MTN come on board. Then, when they came on board, what did they do? They ensure that they monopolize the system. Okay, they are selling their SIM card at how much? 50,000, 60,000 naira. Using, if you are calling, you are paying per minute. But when another player came into the sector, it breaks it down. Call per seconds, breaks the SIM card down, you can pay installmentally, and at the end of the day, you have the market forcing everybody to align into some certain market forces. And then today, you can buy a SIM card for 200 naira. That's exactly what will happen in the oil and gas sector. If it is implemented, if what is in PIA is implemented effectively, I use that word again, effectively, so that you will have people, investors coming on board. The PIA provided that NNPC will still have the right to provide Nigeria with 30% of the energy we needed, 30%. And then the private sector will come in with the 70%. This will give them some kind of challenges. Okay, from NNPC cannot sell above the price that will be reasonable to the people. So if NNPC is selling at, say, 300 naira, and you as private sector, you are selling at 350 naira, you tend to have more people falling for NNPC. And then you have other marketers as well, major marketers. And I'm very sure if effectively implemented, other major marketers will come into the market, and then you will see competition in that market, thereby not allowing somebody to increase his or her own price arbitrarily, because he or she knows that there are options. There are better options that people can actually go for. So I want to believe that if implemented to the later, it will at the end of the day be a competition, bring about a competition in the market and force the marketers to sell at a reasonable price.
All right, thank you so much, comrade. Now we have to go on another break, and when we get back, we'll talk about having light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully in Nigeria. But when we get back, we'll talk about that light. But for now, let's go on this short commercial break.
Madam, you still dey here? Make your meat no go spoil o.
I still dey here o. Wait first, how you even take send your own money?
My transfer dem na sharp since I begin use Pay Attitude app and *569#.
Which one be that?
Pay Attitude na app and USSD code wey go allow you send and receive money fiam from your different bank accounts. You fit turn pay with your phone number for POS and online and do cash withdrawal for ATM or agent shop. Dial *569# or download the Pay Attitude app. Begin use am. E dey work well.
Pay Attitude. Ilé-iṣẹ́ wa lálùbáríkà tí pọ́ǹpì onílẹ̀ ìfọkànbalẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn ti ń ralẹ̀ torí pé ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú ni wá o.
Òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ ni tí pọ́ǹpì concept onílẹ̀ ìfọkànbalẹ̀ sì ń pinrin ọdún fún gbogbo olóríire. Lọ́dún yìí ìwọ náà gbọ́dọ̀ ralẹ̀ o máa kọ́lé. Ilẹ̀ ríra ní ìrọ̀rùn gbà. Tẹ́ bá ti ra plọ̀tì ilẹ̀ wa kan tó wà lókè òyìn ní 500,000 naira péré. Ẹ ti láǹfààní láti gba ogún símẹ́ǹtì àpò 20 bags of cement lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Bákan náà nílé tó wà lóko olówó 150,000 naira péré ní plọ̀tì kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ máa gba símẹ́ǹtì àpò mẹ́wàá 10 bags of cement lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Ilé kíkọ́ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Lábàǹkì ilẹ̀ wa tó wà nílé mèrè. Ilẹ̀ tá a rẹ̀ rà pamọ́ fúnra wa tàbọ̀ mọ́ tá a bí torí ọjọ́ iwájú sí ta o. 300,000 naira ní 500 square meter. 200,000 naira ní 300 square meter. Àwọn olóríire ti ń jàǹfààní yìí báyìí. Ó di Friday June 30 ọdún ìkó tó parí. Ẹ tètè máa bọ̀ lọ́fíìsì tí pọ́ǹpì concept tó wà ní suite 8 legislative quarters along Gidi road Ìlọrin. Telephone 08052888552.
Tí pọ́ǹpì concept developer that cares.
My God, you go answer my prayer, so wetin happen? All these children, dem dey out. Dem no see school go. They don write jam tire. Na every year dem dey register. I don tire.
Na that one dey worry. Make I show you way. I dey tell you. The Wise IGMB School Ilorin Center for Basic and Remedial Studies. This ogbonge school wey go prepare your children, give them better education. Government and IGMB approval. We get good environment where students go fit learn, plus including modern facility and standard science laboratory. Maximum security dey for the children. The correct ogboko hostel. No need to the right jam for admission at all. Your children go enter 200 level with direct entry with any O-level results wey dem get. WAEC, NECO, NAPTEP, sama dem on 08030441046. Website www.de-ycbrs.com. With the IGMB School for the back of Federal Housing Estate off Aliara Road, Asadam, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria.
So, babes, what's up with the wedding preparation? Hope everything is planned out.
Everything is in order. I can't wait for my big day and all the excitement.
Aww. Have you checked to the Ashoebi? Food vendor, decor,
all checked, babes. Oh, wait. Myself and Bob are yet to find a good event center. All the ones we've been seeing, it is either bad lighting or...
Say no more. The Savannah Event Center has got you covered. Located in a secured and serene environment with spacious parking lot, fully air-conditioned, clean sound system, and the hall can conveniently seat all your guests. They even have a banquet hall to host birthdays, symposium, conferences, dinner and award nights, and luncheons. The best part is, there is a huge discount available from now till the end of July. The Savannah Event Center is located within the magnificent Savannah Hotel, Kilometer 2 at Dasheku Road by Garkambi Junction, Ilorin, Kwara State. For bookings, enquiries, and reservations, please call 090-3933-2299. 090-3933-2299.
Uncle Jerry, thank you. This wouldn't have been beautiful without you.
Savannah Event Center, built just for you.
I long for you like a ray of hope coming through the blue. When it all gets dark and then the whole thing falls apart, I guess it doesn't really matter about the rain, 'cause we'll get through it anyway. We'll get up and start again, 'cause we could be living, living, living.
You can still be a part of today's conversation by sending a message to our WhatsApp number on 091-6737-5588, 091-6737-5588. You can also watch us live on our Facebook page and drop your comment right there on Facebook. You can also call in, but not now when we open the studio line in just a few minutes. You can call the number 0810-850-1371. And if you're just joining us, this is Vocal Point on Royal FM 95.1 in Lauren. Before we went on the break, I said we're going to talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. That's talking about the solutions now to this. But again, this is about the refinery. Now, Dangote refinery has been launched. Now we have that. Hopefully that things are going to get better. And again, there's this talk about the Port Harcourt now. The Port Harcourt refinery that in the second quarter is going to start functioning. And also there's rehabilitation of some other ones in Warri, Kaduna, and the likes. But again, do you think this is actually the light at the end of the tunnel for us, knowing we're having, at least let's say we're going to have 2 now, so probably we're having more over time. So does that speak light at the end of the tunnel?
Yes, in relation to availability. Absolutely, yes. What did I mean by this? Occasionally in Nigeria, at interval, you have fuel scarcity. And that is because sometimes the fuel marketers will decide that we are not going to bring this thing. The NNPC is still owing house money, or the federal government still then hold the country to jugular. When you have those refineries, it means that you have the product close to your home. And at that, you haven't available. You do not have that occasional scarcity and some of the artificial one that you used to see. So that will ensure the availability of the products. And in terms of pricing, you can only hope, you can only see some significant reduction in the pricing. Just like I've said from the beginning, price of crude PMS is a global price. And then, so Nigerian is not an exemption. So what you just have is some overhead cost attached to the importation initially being removed compared to what you are having. And maybe significantly 30, 40 naira reduction in the price of the commodity. Yes.
That seems low.
Yeah, that seems low, but that's the reality. And of course, yes, in relation to employment, in relation to economic development, you tend to have some of these advantages from all of this refinery. And I hope that in the long run, we'll be able to manage the situation to ensure that as far as the global pricing reduces, we continue to have a reduction. And when it goes up, of course, just like we have with diesel, it will also go up in the country. So we'll be expecting exactly how it plays out.
All right, so hoping it will play out well for us. Now, just as I said at the beginning, that some governors are actually preferring solutions. Now, that's talking about 3 working days, just as Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak's administration had stated to have to help the workers. But again, how is this going to be effective as a long-term process? Because this seems like a short-term process to me, because this cannot continue alternating and eventually having to bounce back to the original method.
You asked me earlier on, you asked me why are there no cushion effect before the implementation of the subsidy?
Yes.
I think over time it has always been as a result of lack of political will by the leadership of the country to take the bulls by the horn. That's why you see a continuous postponement in their decision making as it relates to this subsidy.
Okay.
But at this particular period of time, I think what differentiates it is the fact that there have been background work done before this administration came in. Take for instance, there is no budgeting for subsidy from July 1st, 2023 going forward. So that helps the incumbent administration to look at a way by which they can say, oh, these people have actually not provided any grant for subsidy, so we are removing it and we are taking it up. So they took it in good faith, looking at, okay, we will sit the turbulency and we see exactly how we can patch ourselves along the turbulence part. And that's exactly what we see them doing now. Looking at what effect this decision has brought about and what can we do. That's why you see governor like Governor Abdulrazak coming up with, okay, let us shorten it. I think Governor El-Rufai did this about 2 years ago in Kaduna, telling his people to go back to farm for the rest of the 2 days and working for 3 days. And he said it will bring about productivity in the activities of the civil service.
But would that actually bring about productivity?
That's his own thoughts, and that's what he thinks will happen when people work and then have time to do some other things. So it's a good move, because what the governor has done, because what you have is that if you're going to work for 5 days, automatically, if you're going to be transporting yourself to work for that 5 days, and considering the current wages that they're paying, the so-called minimum wage, it can, even when you didn't increase the price of petrol, automatically it is not enough to cater for these people.
I was actually going to come to that, because the sustainability of the minimum wage, that's 30,000 in this present economy.
It's not visible, but it's a two-edged thing, two sword with two sharp edge. Okay? Currently, Nigerian inflation is about 21%, 22%. If you're increasing price of food, if you're increasing the price of payments, you are going to have increment in the inflation. You are going to have increment in prices, okay? If you have increment in prices, and you now decided again as a government to say we want to increase the wages, that is pushing more money into the economy again. You are doubling the inflation. So the government will have to find a balance between increasing the minimum wage and then controlling the inflation, so that when you increase the wages as well, it will not be that inflation will take it away from them, and at the end of the day it will not have effect. And I think that's exactly the reason why they are trying to manipulate the process to see exactly how they can find a way around the turbulence part, just like I have mentioned. That's why governor like the Kwara State governor said, okay, let us see exactly what we can do. We can actually, during COVID-19, workers from certain level were sat at home for more than 1 year, and work continued going on. So if we reduce the period by which we work, definitely we can still be able to manipulate the process and get whatever we want to. So I think that's the thought for now, to reduce the cost of living for those workers, and at the same time balance the work, the productivity that they need to give to the state in terms of economic activity. So I hope that after that step they will look at other cushioning effect, because for states like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, that have the infrastructural capacity to do some certain things in the transportation system, they need to look into that area, public transportation, and they need to look into the wages as well, irrespective of whatever inflationary effect it will be bringing. Yet you don't have any other option than to increase our wages, because 30,000 naira cannot actually do anything. So they would just have to find a balance between increment and the inflation, and of course investment in other areas like food security and some other things. I think in the long run, if they look at that direction, they will be able to find out.
But let me ask you personally, although I want to ask about a reasonable, sustainable minimum wage that you can actually prefer, because at some point I was reading somewhere where it was written, I'm trying to remember the organization that said 200,000 naira.
Of course, TUC.
So, okay, yes, TUC. So, and I'm wondering, okay, even the 200,000 naira in this economy, well, is it sustainable?
It's not. For government, it is not sustainable. That's the problem. You see, Nigerian problem is multifaceted. Okay, even if you said pay 200,000 naira, you might have the federal government, because the TUC majorly will be dealing with the federal government. The federal government might decide to say, okay, is it 200,000 naira? Let me see how I can mop up my funds and pay 200,000 naira. What about the state governments? What about the local government employees? Will they be able to pay that the same amount of money? So you tend to have those disparity. So it is not realistic that you have such amount. I'm not even thinking the government will go beyond 50,000-60,000 naira at this particular period of time for two reasons. Because the fund is not available. One, two, because they have to control inflation as well. So those two factors are very important to them in running the affairs of the country. So I cannot say per se, just like you have asked, how much did I think is sustainable. But I want to believe that people at the Ems of Affair will sit themselves down to look at the best way to. It is not even about. Somebody was talking to me the other time and he was saying, can't we do price control? And I said, the kind of economy that we run does not permit price control. We are running capitalism. I can buy my goods and sell at any amount. So government cannot say, why did I do that? If you like, you buy. If you don't like, you don't buy.
But again, that's still one of the problems we have.
Yes.
And
so
one of the things causing the inflation.
Yes. So what we just have to do is to ensure that we bring about a competitive market in terms of food security, in terms of commodities that people need for their day-to-day activities. In fact, in the transportation sector, brings about competition. Say you invest whatever you are saving from subsidy in rail transportation system. You know, you tend to have people plying those routes to ferry their goods and services, having reduction in the amount they pay for those services. So I hope the government will take the right decisions going forward.
All right, thank you so much, comrade. Let's go on this very short break again. The studio line is actually buzzing right now, and do know after this very break we'll make sure we start picking calls after this break. Do not change that dial. It's still Vocal Point on Royal FM 95.1.
Just imagine say them summer you 40% discount every Wednesday. Make you not think I'm again, because KFC don't land with WCW Reloaded discount offer.
What do we gonna wait for? How we gonna get that sharp?
Yes, so your Wednesdays don't get plenty enjoyment with KFC Reloaded Wow Chicken Wednesday. Make you enjoy KFC 7-piece chicken bucket every Wednesday with the 40% discount. Now the same finger-licking enjoyment meal where you know before. Make you waka enter any KFC store nationwide or make you order online from any of our delivery partners. KFC, now finger-licking enjoyment.
Madam, ẹ ṣe wá ń bí ni ẹran tí ẹ̀rọ má lè bàjẹ́.
Ó ṣì wà níbí yìí o. Báwo gan-an lẹ́yìn ṣe fi owó tí yín ránṣẹ́?
Ní kíákíá ni ìfowóránṣẹ́ tèmi máa ń lọ látìgbà tí mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lo Pay Attitude app àti *569#.
Ewu tún nìyẹn o.
Pay Attitude ò lẹ́gbẹ́ tí a bá sọ̀rọ̀ áàpù tàbí USSD kóòdù tí ó máa ń fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ tí a bá fẹ́ fi owó ránṣẹ́ tàbí tí o bá fẹ́ gbowó kíákíá láti inú àkáǹtì rẹ̀. O sì tún lè fi nọ́mbà rẹ̀ sanwó lórí POS àti ayélujára. O lè fi gba owó nídìí ATM tàbí lọ́wọ́ agent ní ilé ìtajà. Ẹ tẹ *569# tàbí kí ẹ download Pay Attitude app sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yín.
Pay Attitude. Sanwó pẹ̀lú fóònù.
Onífẹ́mi láì ní òdiwọ̀n. Ó tó gbẹ́kẹ̀lé lójoojúmọ́. Kò sóhun tí mo bá ṣe. Ó fi fẹ́ hàn mí.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
Ó fi fẹ́ hàn mí.
It ain't long before I long for you like a ray of hope.
You're still on to Vocal Point on Royal FM 95.1 in Lorry. 0810-850-1371 is the number to call. The studio line is open to your opinion. Hello, good morning. You're welcome on Vocal Point. Good morning, sir. You're welcome, Mr. Babatunde. Okay. Okay.
By what I read, the NSC does not only have asking for the document in salary.
Okay.
But unfortunately, most commentators, I listen to your program in the morning, yoga program. Most of them, they only concentrated on that aspect.
Okay.
But even at that, even is asking for increment in salary, if they are able to get that from the government, would that not go down to the masses? Everybody's going to benefit, either in one way or the other. Because some people are arguing that How about those people who are not civil servants? So I want the NSC to come out and sensitize the Nigerian populace.
Okay.
They are not only fighting for incremental salary, because I watched and I listened to some of them.
Okay.
They said they were even asking the government to make sure they do something about our refinery. So in essence, it is better place that the NSC come out and sensitize the Nigerian masses. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Babatunde, for your take on that. Thank you so much. All right, 0810-850-1371 is still the number to call. Hello, you're welcome on Vocal Point.
Hello, good morning. This is Mr. Isa from Ilorin.
You're welcome, Mr. Isa.
Yes, I want to commend the governor for the step taking. He shows he has the heart for us. But I want him to go further because it's only his workers that will enjoy this.
Okay.
What about the other citizens in the state, especially the students? So I want to suggest those buses that were purchased by the Gid administration, those buses, they should please republish them and feed them to some of our tertiary institutions. Because the steps are not being enjoyed by the students, and the students too are also suffering it. So if you can help, the federal government should come and make a large investment on transportation. If that one is done, I think the argument for salary increase may not be too much. Transportation is the problem. Let them break buses that will carry people. Thank you so much. That's my suggestion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Isa, for your take. Thank you so much. And he has talked about the buses and transportation, and also just as Mr. Babatunde had said earlier, he's talking about NLC to come out and actually sensitize Nigerians as to correct some notions. What do you have to say about this, comrade?
Of course, yes. I did mention it. If you are saving, if you're saying you are not paying subsidy, you are saving money, right? Those monies, what are you going to do with them? You need to invest them in things that will much more benefit the people against the subsidy that you said is not benefiting them again. And that includes transport. And that's why I talk about the infrastructure, transport infrastructure, say good roads, bringing about public transportation to people, and then some other things like that. Of course, yes, NLC over time has been running an affairs that the people does not understand exactly what they are doing. So they need to come out more to speak to the people, let them understand exactly their own plight, what they are asking for, and what they think the government should do.
All right, thank you so much. Well, this call, we just missed that. 0810-850-1371 is still the number to call NLC. This is a call to NLC where they can actually come on broader firms so as to sensitize our people. Actually, 0810-850-1371 is the number to call. Hello. You're welcome, sir. Good morning. You're welcome, Mr. Rotimi.
They are not there is no minister of petroleum and Canada. The NNC just beat up the department. This is where the problem comes with NNC. That's why they are so much behind in business. And like as I said, there are so many controversies. In fact, in honesty, the government is not honest. If anything put down now, would they follow it? Would they implement it? I would like to advise the Kwara State government and as the president of the government forum, please, to repeat. Kwara belongs to every citizen that live here. There shouldn't be any discrimination. These people go through this or other people. We want equal treatment.
Okay.
Who rely on people often. You cannot say somebody, what are the farmer? I did not go to the farm. Like I said, transportation structure is very, very important for everybody in the Kwara State. Look at that way, you see, it's 40,000, and then the transportation is there. Nobody will complain because even those who sit down, who they say, I did not go to take their children to school. Would they give us free? This is what we need to do.
All right.
That's what we think are the policies that take every one of us. Think about the salary or forget about the salary, we find the price of petrol back to normal. We need to be end of the job. And the government too. Mr. President, President of the government, I will happy to use the data for other people to help watch. We all put the phone in. Thank you so much, Baba.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Mr. Ritimi from Horo. Thank you so much. All right, 0810-850-1371 is still the number to call. Comrade, I would like you to react to what he said as that's talking about, I think I pointed out the transparency, but before then, let's pick this last call for the day so you can do combination of both together. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much. May I know your name, sir? All right. You're welcome, Mr. Peter.
I want to take these issues one by one.
Okay.
Number one, the NLC has no business going on strike.
Okay.
They should go and negotiate with the government how to bring that palliatives. One of the palliative salary adjustment. Workers cannot arbitrarily adjust their salaries. One trader in the market can change his price even before we finish this discussion. Providers of services can adjust their prices without taking permission from anybody. Then, after that, they should ask the government to improve on transportation. They should float mass transit. And that is what, because this is hinged on petrol, and petrol is movement of the people.
Yeah.
They should come into this transportation business and give incentives to float a lot of these big mass transit. We have many vehicle manufacturers in the country that can bring that buses. So I don't know what we are talking about. From there now, whatever is remaining, they can use it for other things.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Peter, for your take. All right, it will be our last caller for today. A sincere apologies to anyone who might still want to hear their opinion on the show. Our time is fast spent, but comrade, I'll need you to take it all together. There's I had to note down the fact that I said NLC had no business going on strike. They should go negotiate with the government. And again, everyone has actually been talking about transportation, but I see that's a major aspect, getting to your place of work and the like. So what will be your reaction to these all together combined in few minutes?
Yeah, of course, yes. In transportation, it has everything to do with us. Human moves, and we move our goods and services, and the cost of moving them automatically translates into the cost of buying things in the market, and that's exactly the reason why it is very, very important. That's why I talk about trade. The last administration started the rail project from Lagos to Ibadan. From Kaduna to Abuja. I'm very sure they are currently working between Kano and Kaduna. So this administration should invest heavily in rail transportation from Ibadan to Ilorin to connect the north. Okay. That will make it easy for people to transport their goods, farm products especially, from the north to the south, in a bid to be able to bring about the pricing down. So it's very, very important that the government invest in transportation. And of course, to NLC. NLC has one responsibility, and I hope people will know. I'm saying this because I'm a unionist. They have one responsibility: the welfare of their own member. So if people are saying, what about the other people? I think the other people will have to put the government on their toes to do exactly what they what they wanted as well. So NSA responsibility is majorly to, of course, they're a pressure group. They will think about the generality of the masses, but primarily they have responsibility to their own members. So I think they should understand that, and of course we'll be encouraging them to speak for the people, and I hope they will do that.
All right, thank you so much, comrade, and thank you so much for coming on Vocal Point this morning. A big thank you to those who had called, Mr. Peter, Mr. Rotimi, Mr. Babatunde, Mr. Isa. Thank you so much for joining us, and to those who listened and has not probably called or commented, we sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much. And to my producer, Mr. Olaritimi Oshin, thank you so much, sir. Well, that's about the time we have today on Vocal Point. Till next week again, when we come your way on Vocal Point, do have a wonderful day and keep listening to Royal FM 95.1.